feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. The way you like it. Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Qiddiya.
Welcome back, everyone. South America is now about to get underway in ESL Challenger League. We are getting toward the true business end now in this Cup number 4, the last Cup, of course, before we get to that regional final. I've got Yumi alongside me this evening. He's just been live with EU. Was that a fun one, my friend?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was an absolute nail-biter to find out who even made it into the lower bracket consolidation final and who made it into the grand final over in EU. So it's a bit of a different story as I guess I region hop over to South America, because now we have 9Z and Bounty Hunters. 9Z hoping that they can get back into that grand final and get a rematch versus the Sharks if they are so lucky. But the Bounty Hunters have been on a bit of a lower bracket run, I've seen. Yeah,
I mean, look at this. Actually a crazy streak. They lost to Gaming Gladiators, who are currently in the regional final, so not really a bad loss to take to drop into that lower bracket. And now look at what they've done. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Beer 3s, technically 5 because one of them was a forfeit win, but still an incredible run. But this is without a doubt their toughest challenge yet, because if you look at their head-to-head with 9Z, they have not got more than 10 rounds in any map against them. They've lost 2 out on every single occasion in Thunderpick, in other ESL Pro League qualifiers and CCT. So it's going to be a whole new kettle of fish for them today.
Yeah, I can't imagine coming into a game like this where your track record is not even really competitive. You know, understanding as well, the South American region has, you know, I'm not necessarily as ear to the ground as I have been in years gone by, but from my understanding, it's, you know, there's maybe 4 or 5 teams that you typically see at the top of competition, and maybe there's a couple of newer names emerging in the past few months to be in that conversation. But yeah, I can't imagine punching up like this if you're the Bounty Hunters.
No, exactly. And as we look at the veto, I think that's one of the main things that has hurt them in previous matches against them. The veto has kind of always been vaguely favoured to 9Z. Even the pick for Bounty Hunters that we see here of Nuke, right, is still a map that 9Z play pretty well. However, look, if you're going to catch 9Z on an off day, maybe today is the day. Maybe today is the day that Pyria has one of his God-tier performances in South America online, and maybe 9Z are off their game for multiple reasons. Firstly, even though I've seen good synergy, right, between Levy and Urbano on this team, there is lots of rumours flying around right now. There's a Dust2BR article that's come out. It's pretty much all but confirmed that with Bestia losing Luchov apparently going to 9Z, Bestia taking in Buda, Urbano is apparently going to be out of this team. And Luchov, that's an incredible opportunity for him, but they're kind of vaguely playing with a dead team in a way here, supposedly. Will that change things?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, there's definitely players that seem to thrive, actually, off of the news that they're going to be released from their contracts, you know, almost like a dead, you know, this is what people say when they say dead team buff. It's actually usually the players that are going to be kicked that seem to just empower themselves, maybe take more risks where they were sheltered before, didn't want to be the cause of a round loss or a mistake. They almost release all their inhibitions and start playing up to standard. And so it is an opportunity at the very least to put yourself in the shop window if you do qualify with the team through to the regional qualifiers. That is obviously going to add to the potential allure of getting you out off from the bench and into another team actually quite quickly. You know, it's happened multiple times where that is the case. Even someone like Rain, for example, who lots of people looked at on that FaZe roster and said he probably does need to get benched. And then in his last blaze of glory, he has actually a pretty solid set of series. Not the best event overall, but it definitely put himself in the purview of potential organizations, and he's found himself a new one just as quick as that. Now, it won't be as easy for Urbano, but I like to see him perform here as they take to the T side of Nuke.
Yeah, and actually, as I said, in the games I've covered for 9Z in this tournament and in others that I've kept an eye on too, his synergy with Levy has actually been pretty decent. So looking forward to seeing how it goes. We can understand 9Z's results, not where they want to be though. Maybe that's why they're making that move. But Pistol underway. Urbano not connecting early game, unfortunately, and Max will have to deal with Period to get any chance at all in this round. That's a peek toward Heaven though is a good tap, and Max is doing more damage and they're body blocking it toward Heart. Oh no, that allows Hawasso Peak to push forward, and Levy's coming in on the flank. Kaiser will drop money in the bank for the AWPer, of course, as well, of 9Z. That could not be better for them.
That goes catastrophically wrong. If they escape back into Hut and they don't block each other and they get away, they probably pick up that flank, and Levy's not in a position where he can knife him, but actually almost because of that issue, I think, attention's drawn away from the prospect of the flank. So extra money for 9Z, a confident Pistol, even if the initial hold didn't look too great. That flurry of CTs stopped bounty hunters in their tracks.
Yeah, as we've got a full eco here, just a little chance to talk about some of the other individuals on 9Z, right? The main reason why I think, as we could see a bit of a clean-up here for Asso Peak, why they're probably making a roster move, it's just because they're not even winning and farming in South America like you think they should, right? You look at a lot of the teams playing in these tier 2 lands in South America, you think to yourself, okay, they're going to win this one. Then you look at Imperial losing, you look at Fluxo winning a few, but also losing, and you look at 9Z, really, in their eyes, in the organization's eyes for sure, probably should be better than they currently are. And I do think if they do pick up Luchov, like is rumoured, it would be a pretty cool move, especially having him alongside Lucan. Lucan is still doing amazing work on his third stint with 9Z in Tier 2 South America, putting in great numbers. And yeah, of course, now Max, Mr. 9Z, could have another new roster move to have to deal with.
Yeah, still remember Lucan first kind of coming out from almost retirement, actually, to hand in with 9Z as an AWPer, of all things, when he hadn't AWPed in a long, long time. And now he's here rifling for the squad, so
that's
invigorated his career.
That's headshot there from Pyria as they break that smoke toward ramp. Hawasso does well to grab that one trade kill with the FAMAS to drop ninjas, but they know they've left the B-bomb site open. They know what's coming, do 9Z. And Bounty Hunters with Freak actually in the control room right now, looking to get the bomb planted, but Zoc is still waiting outside in that Africa position. And Levy and Hawasso Peak will both drop. Good patience there from Bounty Hunters, and it should net their opening T round.
Yeah, I mean, just the burst is great, but 9Z also aren't in great positions to sort of jump at that information. No one making a fast rotate down the vents, no one on the sort of quick pickup and actually fighting for ramp control. You needed some access to that lower site in some way, or a meaningful way to stall out the bounty hunters, but they were playing more heaven side, deeper outside control, and so nobody actually could get a foothold back on B. So great move for bounty hunters to continue their path through the ramp into that lower site. It's very minimal resistance.
One of the main things for this 9Z team, right, when we've seen the roster moves that have come through, way back they lost Epideus, more recently they've lost DGT, ironically both of them on pain now, obviously. There had to be a player to take up the mantle. There had to be a player to get that firepower and really make a name for themselves all over again. It has, as I said, been Lucan more often than not when he got re-added to the team. But Hawasso Peak was the guy who I thought, as a bit more of an aggressive player, as a bit more of a flashy player, could maybe be that guy. And I think it's very up and down for him in those attempts to be that guy. So I want to see him play well again today.
Well, Davideus has similar issues, in fact. On pain.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe it's a Chilean thing.
Yeah, maybe. Good kill for Zoc, and he's going to double up again. This time not playing for the lurk, this time on the entry, and Ninjas is right behind him for a third. Urbano a 4-2 start. But, I mean, there's not a whole lot you can really do to salvage this. Players are low enough HP. Max still retaining control on lower, but he's going to have to remain proactive. Nate on top of Hawasso Peak doesn't make his life easy at all. So it'll be 4 uncontested frags Only Max that will likely try to save this M4.
Yeah, and that might be a bit difficult, because I think Zoc kind of knows where he's playing from. 2 kills in the round already. Looking pretty good. Former Bestia player, of course, and yeah, trying to clear out every single angle. Is he going to be wary of the close position? No, he is not. Unfortunately now for Max, he's probably going to use quite a bit of util to keep him alive at all here. And get a bit of luck too, to avoid these smoke spams. Getting peppered, and they're completely surrounding him. This smoke's going to fade eventually. The flash is really good. How is he away? How is he still alive?
What?
He's doing a brilliant job of it. And eventually, Kaiser will run him down. But I think, honestly, Max will be quite happy with that. 2 alive compared to 3 is a big difference.
Yeah. In honesty, it wasn't worth it for the bounty hunters, really.
No.
Lost 3 in pursuit of 1 player. And you didn't even get the gun out of his hands at the end of... Or, well, you may have, but... Yeah, it's a lot of damage to your economy where this could have been a real building moment. Could have built that buffer, and even if there was a rifle to work around, you know, it's maybe 1 at best, maybe 2 if 9Z were really going to stretch their economy thin.
At least they are rewarded with a anti-eco here. Only the Max M4, which he actually has bought because of the kill reward he got from those kills at the end of that previous round.
Feels like he's earned it.
Exactly. Also, Pick has got enough money to drop the AWP to Levy, so that's the most important thing. And Max has got the opening of this round, so you never know. Could be worth taking the mantle, as I said earlier, kind of Mr. 9Z now at this point. Nearly 6 years on the team, getting up to that point now. Ninjas deals with him though eventually, and now there's not really an opportunity to pick that M4 back up with an armoured player. Levy's got it now, but... Oh, okay. Abano's still doing great work, and the 5-7 of Lucan got one in the meantime too, so it's actually still a 2v2. But look at the lack of information that Pyria's dealing with. Didn't know they were both double pushing Mini, and all of a sudden 1v1. Abano, P250 only with 2 kills. 26 HP, bomb in no man's land outside. Surely Freak wins this every day of the week. But 35 seconds, now mind games will start to begin, and he's missed the timing on Abano outside. But will he get away in time? Oh, scene.
Yeah, has the drop on him as well, and so he can race towards this lower bomb site. Even if Urbano has salvaged an AK, this will be a very, very difficult clutch to play. No armor, a flash, and deeply out of position. Freak has all the advantages he could possibly ask for. But this is his chance to put himself in that shop window. 2 kills deep already. May as well give it a good old swing. Have a gun round around the corner anyway.
Yeah, good old college try, as they say. Freak's about to open the door as soon as he hears any tap on the bomb. He should assume in a round like this there is no defuse kit. There is the tap. Ivano actually choosing to hold it for the 10 seconds, and Freak's not peeking, but he's forced him off it. Well played, gets the kill, comfortable in the end, but not a comfortable round overall, and it does make you wonder, actually, if he didn't spot that pixel of Urbano walking in toward Hell, how he would have played that differently.
Yeah, it looked like he was about to start peeling back, and actually, you know, as he was transitioning away to back red, I actually do think he caught a glimpse of him before he walked to Hell, because suddenly he just started shifting and clearing towards Icebox. And then he saw full confirmation that there was no consideration for continual outside pressure. But yeah, the advantages would have almost certainly been absent. We would have had to play the round slower. This is a very quick line of progression here for Zoc down to secret steps. Ninjas won't be able to join him quite as smoothly. He makes his presence known, throws a nade right back.
Jump spotting for Urbano. In a very critical position, actually, for the hold off for the secret push, and that Incendio will be on a pretty good timing. Resmoke also. And actually can afford to rotate up the vent now, can Urbano, because of that. And Kaiser's still waiting in toward Trophy to see if there's going to be any lobby aggression. And you might get that if Urbano and Lucan chose to go together, but looks like they're focusing more on ramp now. 3 players going to take their eyes off of lobby surely at some point and go together. Max is the only player in toward the ramp on a very tight angle, of course, on that headshot position. Thankfully the AWP is there, but Levy, I don't think he shot, did he? Not sure, didn't hear it on our side, but it doesn't make a difference in the end. He sets up well, gets a kill on Pyria, and that all falls into place for 9Z just like that.
Yeah, they strangle them in the end, really. After a little bit of noise made towards ramp, just the immediate pounce. There was no ability for them to make their way out to ramp, and then there was no escape either. 3 players on A decided to aggro on a timing, and they hit the mark. So, I mean, that seemed like decent starting positions there for the Bounty Hunters, getting access to those secret steps, forcing the rotate, but I love the call there for 9Z to just basically abandon that B bomb site and play for other lanes of attack that the Bounty Hunters could use.
Yeah, and the lanes of attack now might be a bit more simple for Bounty Hunters because their buy is rough, and it might be a fast A play. Usually this is what this kind of buy lends itself to. Hoasapik has got to hold on. He's done a good job. Freak, unfortunately, going in there and not really getting much reward because none of his teammates followed him. They went toward ramp instead, and this might be more kills for Levy. The flash is good, and the double scope actually hurting Levy more than it helped him. So 4v2 is fine, but they do have a little bit of control now, do Bounty Hunters.
See Lucan rendezvousing alongside Urbano towards that lower site. So this is accounted for, but they're not going to be in immediate positions to spring into the site should that bomb attempt to go down. There has to be a sound cue made here for the Bounty Hunters. They both take to the rafters, and so as they drop in, Pyria, that's a hell of a shot, and that gives them open runway and escape as well to play the post plan. But Kaiser repositioning, it's Lucan that gets the better on the duel, and now Pyria has to make a play out in the open, fighting for this 1v3, and Lucan spotted him. It's a kill for Pyria, but through the smoke they'll try it, and he'll get wrapped on both sides. Levy will take him. It's a nice attempt there from Pyria, but this will still be another 9Z round.
I was feeling that one for a second, especially when Pyria hit that first headshot. As I said in the bit of the pre-game we did, Pyria is the man for Bounty Hunters. He's had a kind of a in-and-out career of Bounty Hunters as Pyria, funnily enough. I think it's his technically third stint, if you look at HLTV on the team, a bit like Lucan on 9Z, funnily enough, just with different time gaps. And yeah, we know...
Can't stop bringing him back.
we can't ignore how damn good Pyria is in Tier 2 South America. It's just that making that next little mini step up has always been maybe a step too far for him so far in his career. And I felt it there for a second, but in the end, 9Z deal with it well. Levy gets the final kill. Now they have control of the economy properly. Only a deco for Bounty Hunters here.
I think the most interesting thing about 9Z having not maybe kept the closest tabs on them is that Bit's back on the roster. He's really a part of the initial rise of 9Z to any sort of relevancy, only to have pieces like himself, but also Try taken away from 9Z. OO Nation was a period of time. And
one of them.
It's kind of nice to see that he's back with Max, because even when the acquisition happened, I think I remember, Max effectively having to take over in-game leader duties because Bit was on the roster.
Yeah.
He was calling, and he stuck around for a few weeks or maybe a month or so, and really tried to smooth over that transition for Max to take the reins. And Max did a great job from there on out, and even during that transition period, seemed to do actually improve to a certain degree. It felt like his read on the game on an individual level, it's like his third eye opened up.
Yeah, and I know I don't want to talk about the future too much because we've got the present here to keep an eye on, but if they do eventually get Luchov, I do think that's a really cool move in general, right? I mean, Luchov has been a part of that core Bestia team for nearly 3 years now. It's a big move for him to make, but if you're going to go to any other organization, if you're Luchov, after spending a lot of your time in Bestia, you probably go to the org that has been known for bringing up South American talent to the next level, right? So
yeah, absolutely deserves the chance.
Yeah, for sure. Urbano, though, this is the present I was talking about. He needs to focus on this right now and deliver for his team, deliver for his future, deliver for what could be 9Z's chance at Sharks again tomorrow in that Cup 4 final. There's a lot on the line, but he goes down, only a dink. Pyria entries him. Oh no, a team molly. Kaiser's molly spreads to Pyria. That's unfortunate. Now Harasso peek. Can he hold on toward the back of the site? He's got some help from Heaven, but not too much. In the end, Lucan does peek on a good timing, and it's all going to fall into place. Bounty Hunters actually get a bit guilty there of peeking kind of one by one.
Yeah, that's not how the exec is supposed to go. The fact that Mustang Molotov spilled over into frontside hut is disastrous. I didn't even know the Molotov could spread that far down. But the fact that it did not only killed Pyria, but it also added this hesitation there for the Bounty Hunters about whether or not they continue to go through their own utility, because those T-side Molotovs, they hurt.
They do indeed. And another factor of why this game is important, I'm going to look at it from the Bounty Hunters POV now, right? I know it's not the most important game in the scale of things, but it was a playoff game. They forfeited that playoff game in CCT against Bestia today to prioritise playing this, knowing there's a chance to play for Pro League. So they're already in the bracket. I'm pretty sure that means they lost VRS points, question mark. I'm pretty certain, even though I don't see the result necessarily on HLTV right now. I think they lose VRS from that. The only reason why I'm not sure is because of the fact I don't see the technical forfeit result on HLTV, but I think that's the case.
Yeah.
So
if they have forfeited, they should. But if there's been like an agreed rescheduling, maybe not. You know, that's above our pay grade.
Yeah, but still, the point is that they've forfeited to prioritise this, and they need to make it work because of that. Because they've lost. They will lose double points, put it that way. Max holding on toward ramp against Zoc and Pyria. Doing a good job here against the Eco. A bit whiffy on that one. Kaiser will deliver, and Levy misses the shot. Levy, unfortunately, guilty of missing a few too many shots on occasion, but it kind of lends it to the conversation that me and you have had multiple times recently, Michael, about AWPers not looking too clean in CS2, upcoming ones especially. Not sure which really to pick out. Levy, I wanted him to be one of them, with the lack of AWPers in South America as well, but he's looking a little bit on and off recently.
I mean, there's so many AWPers that, I mean, especially to the South American market, could be marketable as an in-game leader too, but the output is definitely not there for star AWPers. That much is true. That's why players like Molodoid do take the world by storm, because there is a bit of a drought of players like it.
Yeah, and the thing with Levy as well, like when he and Urbano were both picked up, he was very obviously inexperienced because he hadn't played a single career LAN before when he got picked up, and when they qualified for Thunderpick, and they started spamming South American LANs to get ready for Thunderpick, and now looking to try and deliver more. And Pyria, he'll finally get a trade toward Urbano outside here as Bounty Hunters go for a play, but Levy pushed forward on a good timing, even though he's able to take Harasso peek. It doesn't matter. It's 8 on CT, and it could be 9.
Yeah, things are looking very smooth here for 9Z. When they're encountering these fights, they're very quick to collect. Whether or not it's just on these head-to-head duels, but it's just the fact that they're willing to tether off each other. They're calling to take these engagements, swing to trade, and win the duels. I think they understand as well that there is a caliber gap. You know, Bounty Hunters are hovering around that 90th position, and for very good reason. There's a lot more experience here on 9Z, higher quality of player in general. And so there is, I think, a bit of an ego here for 9Z on some of these swings.
Yeah, trying to assert themselves, right? Just trying.
Succeeding.
At the moment, absolutely. Pyria will find Harasso peek this time, and maybe a bit better on the timing for this A play coming through. They're going to trade their way in a lot nicer. Max is last alive. 1v3 now it would be. Can't line them up though. And it will be 4 on T side for Bounty Hunters. Definitely workable on a map like Nuke, but 9Z still in full control. See you in a minute.
sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a Benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of A to Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life.
A flash at the end of the first half for Bounty Hunters. Pyria showing up with 2 quick entries on that A-bomb site to get themselves a 4th round on T-side. Now on CT, so a lot of work to do, 4-8 behind.
Yeah, Pyria and the Zoc. Those felt like the
Zoc.
Two major crowbars for the Bounty Hunters, but there's Levy, finding the opener outside. The Zoc is down.
Not the Zoc. Freak dancing around, about to get run down. Pyria needs to deliver. How many can he get in the back here? Oh, he's struggling. And that's always the case, isn't it? You get that first headshot, you think, oh yes, I know what these other 2 or 3 players are. I'm going to shock them, I'm going to surprise them, and I'm going to click all 3 of them. Not going to happen. Urbano gets the final kill toward Kaiser, and 9Z stay in control.
Yeah, it really did feel like the pistol was the best way back into this game. 9Z have just been doing a great job, honestly, just playing off of each other, making sure all angles are checked. Don't remember a single time, really, where Bounty Hunters have caught them out off guard outside from the Zoc late lurk. That feels like a decade ago now. So this force buy is feeling pretty do or die. They'll get 1 gun round out in this half if they don't succeed here, but they're really hoping for some kind of cushion.
Yeah, this is tough. 2 Deagles, UMP, MP9, Scout, a full array. Still got a double HE in play at the moment. Not sure if Freak and Ninjas are going to plan to use that together at some point. You can see Ninjas has got his drawn right now on the HUD. Ramp is open. So 9Z are making the correct call at the moment. That HE does get thrown in actually towards Zoc, and Zoc takes some damage from that.
I mean, this is just a pretty brave call to make. Full contact in towards ramp. Pyria is starting to try and move in to pick up the slack. They do have a player down towards this lower side in Ninjas, but he doesn't have many shadows to sit behind. Timing on that Deeg doesn't hit his shot. Eventually tags Urbano, but not enough to really contest the site itself. And while Max takes contact outside, there will be some knowledge of this lurk from Max's Mac 10. there's just no foothold. And so best case scenario here for the Bounty Hunters is give it another swing in the following round, 3-on-5. This is not doable.
Yeah. It's always a very painful situation when you have to save your force, especially when you're this far behind. Max might stop them from getting too much of that done, but no, thankfully gets run out by ninjas, and the Deagle grab that one. That Mac 10, of course, or Deagle, can now be dropped to Kaiser. I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it. 2-11, I see many a game like this when I cover Kaiser in his previous teams and this team. Just very, very inconsistent, and when he plays against higher tier teams in South America, often incredibly exposed.
Yeah, that's tough. If it was like 2-4 and the team was winning, I wouldn't bat an eye.
Exactly.
Life has been complicated for Kaiser.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, mate, unfortunately.
But there's still time.
Who knows? Maybe this is the round. They're going to try and make something happen outside. Need to...
Oh, okay,
Well...
that sucks.
What are you supposed to do about that, bro? I mean, Zock's preparing for something and then just like, oh wait, my cover is blown?
Yeah. He was about... Pyria had a flash lined up for him to make a play through the smoke, only for that smoke to vanish before his very eyes.
Oh dear. It's funny how static he was as well, because he obviously had no clue whatsoever that was about to happen. It's just like, oh dear, I appear to be dead.
Like Wile E. Coyote running off a ledge. A moment hesitation, knowing he was in for a bad time.
Yeah.
Oh, Lucan's found another kill, and Pyria might have to make a desperate play here.
Yeah.
Through the smoke, doesn't hit the headshot. And the two players that remain are on the lower side of the map.
Yeah, and it has to be said as well that it is the Bounty Hunters map pick, but it's what I touched on before the series got underway. We looked at the veto, right? I mean, just look at their previous matches against them. Every single game that 9Z have played Bounty Hunters in, they've not lost more than 10 rounds. It's 13-5, 13-9 in Thunderpick, 13-3, 13-8 in the Pro League qualifier. Ironically, we're playing a Pro League qualifier here as well, and it could be a similar scoreline. They've also played CCT and lost 13-6, 13-6. And Nuke was in that veto too, so just one that Bounty Hunters are not able to find an answer on against 9Z.
Yeah, looking like an open and shut case. There will be a bye here for the Bounty Hunters, but there's the Zoc getting undressed outside. And he should have bought a cubicle because he was done for indecent exposure.
Buy your own cubicle? That's crazy.
Hey, when you make it big time. Which they are not yet. Maybe that's why he didn't do it.
Maybe.
Or like one of those stage shows where they bring out a little hula hoop with a bunch of like, I don't know, basically like curtains.
No, I know what you mean. Or just be super simple and buy like 10 Portaloos.
Yeah, that sounds easy enough.
Rent them. They have the ads on them, you know. You know where to go.
I've seen many a number for them. I don't remember any of them. So.
Oh dear.
Crossed my mind once.
Wow, we're talking about Portaloos on a CS broadcast. That is absolutely a first, without a shadow of a doubt. Interesting here for Bounty Hunters. Ninjas staying with the Mac 10 at 4-11 behind. Not sure I can get on board with that. I understand he's prioritizing util. I understand that, but look, you really need the best buy you can possibly get when you're this far off.
9Z are just the ones setting the tempo. They're getting their way around the map. Pyria, the only one that gets a clawback kill after Zoc loses his life to main. So it's a 4-on-4, but they're very aware that they could have broken past Secret. It's only Kaiser that sits with the AWP on the ramp side. Now reinforced by Freak.
Yeah, this is a must hold. And Kaiser, I'm afraid, my friend, this is a must hit. And he's missed it. Thankfully makes up for it on Urbano, but Freak should be the player to get this one done. And he's actually not even pulling the trigger yet, which I really respect. Bomb plant will be denied. Very well played. There we go. Hasso Peak took ninjas in the meantime, but now he's the only one left. Great angle for Freak. He could not have played that any better.
Yeah, I mean, Kaiser may have missed his first shot, but he rectified that as soon as he hit the second. There was no pressure from the double doors, and Freak's positioning was sublime. No one even dared to consider the rafters. They just thought, one player ramp, that'll do. But that was far more than they'd bargained for. The Bounty Hunters winning their gun round does give them a chance.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to see real signs of inspiration if I'm expecting this comeback to happen.
Kaiser caught again by Hasso Peak. It's funny actually how Freak played that previous round. Like, very often the thought process is probably you kill the player who's not planting the bomb first, but there it was totally fine, right?
Mainly because I think Max had also 2 more angles to cover in both sides of ramp, so...
Yes, yeah. But, yeah, another opening pick here. Kaiser down again. We've got full control of outside. Zoc needs to deliver, and he will. Freak does hold on toward ramp as well. With a laboured spray, but actually does well to get away with it and get some rotations in play for his teammates. Ninjas is now down in toward the control room. Glass broken, Molotov in, peeking in front of it. Oh, it's horrible timing though, and now the Molotov's burning. Still gets a kill from it though. Lucan thinks he's dying in the molly and pulls out Util. That's crazy, and Levy gets caught by Pyria. My word. Max also miles away in this 1v3. Bounty Hunters are showing something here.
Yeah, 9Z a little flustered, really. I mean, a Molotov thrown deep into double. If you take contact there, you know that player cannot escape. If he does, he's trapped close to those steps, and that's a kill that you should be hunting instead of pulling out Util. This was a bit of a calamity of problems here for 9Z breaking into B. Even if Max got his kill on the lurk, just cannot really give this an honest go.
Yeah. He'll save. Doesn't really matter too much for Bounty Hunters that he's going to save it because their money is pretty bad anyway. They're going to be able to get something, I think. I mean, when you can get what looks like 3 rifles, maybe 4 if you want a Barno on a Galil and low util, they might go for something here. Especially with an 11-6 lead, they can afford to be a little bit more aggressive when you can get that amount of rifle work in play. Yeah, actually, it's going to be better than I thought, because Max could drop a Galil too, couldn't he? So, it's completely acceptable.
Alright, I said I wanted some inspiration. Kaiser was maybe a little too inspired last time. Lost his life peeking deep credit. And while he went for an opening line to main, he has repositioned, setting up for HEs, and in a position where he actually could cause some interference. Doesn't have following util to make Zoc's life any easier, so it's timing on the peak. It won't be from that ult. It's instead Freak that throws the flash, and it's only a 1-for-1. Max getting the trade while blinded.
Yeah, I bet Zoc saw his name up in lights there and was like, oh my word, I've got 3 players, 4 blind, this flash is god tier, but somehow gets only a 1-for-1 from it. Now Freak's going to try and take some map control and to try and clear out lobby because they know there's a chance they could be losing secret soon. A quick flank round. Thing is, look where Lucan is playing from. I believe from that top ladder position. This could be very hard to check. Is he going to be able to see enough though from there? Will they be able to path past him? Seeing it from Lucan's POV now, and the timing's awful, but Kaiser will get caught. Awful for Kaiser, feeling really unlucky about that one, I'm sure. But Pyria will hold on. There's more where that came from, though, and he still gets them all. Pyria, there's your man. There's your Bounty Hunter star. And Lucan is now in a clutch, which is pretty unwinnable. Ninjas will catch him. Okay, there's a conversation now.
Yeah, suddenly the gate starts to open. It's left ajar. Money broken now for 9Z. Even with this nice kill on the lurk there from Lucan. Pyria with these 3 out from the side of vent. No one could stop him. And that has to be the lethal weapon. It has to be the sharpest tool. One that can be deployed in this game. You highlight Pira as the guy. If he doesn't have a performance, I'm not seeing others that can take his place.
Yeah.
Nancy are still going to invest with an AK. See if they can play around this buy. This is something that's become very, very popular. One player buying down, the others hoping to support, provide some meat shielding or information that rifler can strike.
Would you say it's become too popular, or are you content with how it's being played in the meta right now?
I like it a lot. I really like it a lot, especially when you've got less rounds to play with. You don't always need everyone fully equipped.
Oh, Kaiser. Come on, my friend. There we go. He's found Urbano, falling away. Good util. The flash is actually pretty nice. Pyria might be able to peek on the contact. He doesn't get leapt upon, though. Now, Pyria does need to be careful, and he is being careful. It's all good. And the round is clean with 4 players alive. Now the gap only 3. It's definitely a conversation for Bounty Hunters. If they win this gun round now, we can really get interested.
Only 1 round shy for putting up their best scoreline versus 9Z in their last 3 encounters.
True.
That momentum has shifted. 9Z were taking big risks and winning a lot of those fights. Now it's Ninjas that's inspired. It's a full-on lobby crunch where Urbano is simply the only casualty here for 9Z on their default. Levy dare not make a move back into lobby, but did hear a few of those steps vacate. But they're expecting someone to linger, and that's Freak.
This could be a crazy timing, though. If Levy actually pushes through Heart, he might avoid Freak and could grab a kill on sight, but Ninjas has now realised there could be a gap, and that's actually pretty good awareness. Lucan's going to find Freak in the end, though, even though it takes a lot of damage for it. It's a very important recovery kill. And Ninja's only jiggle spotting the main entrance to Hut here, not the exit. So, again, if Levy pushes out on a timing, he could be ahead of it. He is ahead of it. Now he'll have a feeling, he'll have an inkling. This play is worth making now, and he realises immediately, but Ninja still reacts. Double top, Hut gets away with it.
I thought they were getting prepped to go for a boost, but these moves from Bounty Hunters are giving them a lot of mileage. Sock even from that box just out of CT spawn, catching one, a long-range spray onto Max as well. That Mac 10 will be ill-equipped for the duel. And it's a Lucan save. Bounty Hunters on a 9th round. And this game is slipping away from 9Z.
It's weird to say that when they're still 2 rounds in front, especially being only 2 rounds away from winning. But it's T-side nuke after all. It just has that feeling about it. Levy will be really frustrated about that one because it really... I mean, I called it from the very beginning, but he just went on a different timing to what I thought he would. It was an even better timing than the first one I thought he was going to go on, but still somehow gets caught. Here's the replay. Imagine if he went like a split second sooner, Ninjas would have been looking at his teammate and could very easily have been caught. Crazy.
Yeah, it looked like they were just about to set up for the boost back into the rafters, and... yeah, the shot from Ninjas was, well, uncalled for. Really taking their time with this one now, 9Z.
Another timeout. That 2 and 3 rounds, I think?
Yeah. They are feeling what we are, that this game could be slipping away from them.
Yeah.
It would be crazy to think about. 9Z have been pretty much dominant this entire game, even at the start of this T-side as well, getting away with a whole lot. Talk about the caliber difference. But then that one round where Pyria gets 3 on that lower side suddenly feels like the tide has pulled away.
I think
these Bounty Hunters are on the trail.
I think 9Z will have a little bit of PTSD from their game last night as well against Sharks. They had I think it was something like a 11 8 or an 11-9 on CT overpass with a really good buy, and that's not a map where Sharks have ever shown good T-sides on. In fact, they barely even play the map. They ended up losing at 13-11. They're once again on 11 and can't get it over the line. Pyria will hold on here toward A. Ninjas helps out. There's no progress whatsoever. And this money will continue to build for Bounty Hunters. Ninja's getting spooked by his teammate right next to him. They've all got their eyes on Storks right now. But they're fine. Calm down, boys. The gap will be won. And you're very much in contention.
I mean, that was just a total scramble. Max ahead of the incendiary, but caught full blind. His teammates really couldn't follow it up properly. And then they channeled through Hut through a smoke where, you know, past that gray screen, it's very hard to keep eyes on the prize.
Shot.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a lovely shot there from Levy. To get his hands on a rifle and do a little bit more damage, but I mean, just not likely to win the round. Does have the bob on his back at the very least, so if he somehow finds a gap somewhere, unlikely at 45. Wow. Ninjas has 3 kills and he's still playing very conservatively.
Oh, that almost hit Levy, that op shot from Kaiser.
Well, this one still might. Wait, Levy's giving this an honest look. He's slipping in, but Freak is inside of that top side and now commits towards the side itself, and so Kaiser can cover that Hut exit. Double digits here for the Bounty Hunters. Best score they've had versus 9Z so far, and who's to say it stops there?
Wow.
9Z 11-4 lead, but 6 rounds straight for the Bounty Hunters. They're in it with a chance to win this map.
Truly, truly. Levy realizing at the end there for sure that taking the loss bonus is much, much better for him. Had 5.6 in the bank after dying. So, yeah, they've been on full loss for a while, to say the least. So, Lucan going for the Mac 10. Are we going for something a bit speedier here, I wonder? Am I just prioritizing util? Bounty Hunters have had, I'm pretty sure I've had like 3 or 4 AKs on CT side for a very long portion of this half, which has made them very difficult to get by. Zark might be going for a timing push outside as well. Look how deep he's going. I mean, he's making a little bit of noise, I think. Pyria is making some noise in the meantime to try and block off that sound cue. Ninjas needs to hold on, though. Really good opening headshot from the CT vent. He's got more. Somehow getting a second. Huasso peek finds Freak, but wait for Zark. He's still on that big flank. And Pyria will know that peeking here... Oh my goodness, that smoke fails as well. Bounces off the roof, goes straight down the ladder. That can mean Pyria can advance, and the spray transfer down. We know spraying on a player directly below you is difficult, but a transfer too? 11 all.
This has absolutely gotten away from 9Z, where they were once the sharper pieces. They're now getting devastated by quick collections, fast headshots. AKs on this CT side are proving to be devastating. Those 2 kills from Ninjas, adding to the chaos. That missmoke to heaven, simply the cherry on top. And then this transfer from Pyria is sublime. Gets caught by the flash, but saw just enough to know where to flick.
Wow. What did I even see? That smoke toward heaven, I was so focused on that going straight down the ladder that there was so much else that went on there that seeing it on the replay, even in that split second that I missed, there was an AWP that just went flying out of heaven. I'm not even sure if a player dropped it or it got blown up. Oh my word. What a crazy situation. And what a time for a tech pause as well. Now, I'm not one to say many things, but I'll just say, a little bit sus. Crazy timing on that one. Who knows whose it is, but still, from 11-4 to 11 all, and this is when it happens. This could be a bit of gamesmanship here from 9Z if I was to be so bold as to predict it.
Yeah, they could definitely use the breather, that's for sure. And this is the thing, you know, if I'm thinking about what's worked for 9Z on this T side, really it feels like ages ago, but it wasn't the opening 3 rounds where they were being hyper aggressive. They try to play tempo on that A play, and that gets shut down too. So really struggling for solutions here on the attack. And you are probably right in your suspicions as well about there maybe being some past trauma that 9Z are still getting past.
Yeah, I mean, because they would have won that game against Sharks yesterday if they didn't troll that end of CT overpass. And that would have made a big, big difference to them for this season. Wouldn't have had to play today. Would have been in that upper bracket, or that grand final, I should say. Ready to face the winner of this game, which would have been Sharks v Bounty Hunters. But it's them who have to play it. Bounty Hunters, as I said earlier, prioritised this tournament earlier today with a forfeit against Bestia in CCT to make sure they're ready to play here. And we thought it would be a little bit in vain. But at the moment, I'm going to say absolutely not. Even if they turn out to lose this game, they've really given themselves a good account of each other. Very interesting call here, by the way. Kaiser's had a very rough game with the AWP. I think he's realised that himself. We're going full rifle setup with so much money in the bank, by the way. Piria's... oh my goodness.
He's found a gap.
He's actually got through it, and Lucan has no idea. Can you believe it?
They deep naded as Piria was walking through. He tanked his teammate's HE, but finds perfect timing. No suspicion that that was even a possibility. And this position from Kaiser, no AWP in hand, it's all info. And as he gets swung from red, it's a struggle on the spray, but at least getting information. Piria made the rotate down to secret, so they absolutely know this is not a lower side attack.
Yeah, fair play to Kaiser. It looks bad, but he dies for his teammate Piria to get the kill. That's the guy you want to be in that position. 23 kills in this game for Piria. That's the game we wanted to see from him. Levy will entry Zoc, and Ninjas does hold on, but only just low ammunition on that M4A4. 5-7 drawn and burnt out of the round. 2v2, 15 seconds for the plant. And look where Freak is, but Hawasso Pig checks it. It's Piria in this clutch now. 8 seconds on the clock and the bomb will go down. Good timing on this hut rotation. Hawasso Pig goes down, and it's all down to Urbano, the guy that might not be on this team any longer after this series, if they do go on to lose. But finally, he is the Heimlich. 12 on the board after a long, long wait.
Oh my god, I thought Piria played that perfectly as well. Think about where he got every single one of his kills. From door to secret steps to flanking background wrapped from ramp to hut. They would have no idea how he chose to reposition. And while he got the drop on the first, Urbano didn't allow him to get all those nades out. He didn't play scared, he played to fight. And so 9Z hit 12 first. Felt like Piria had to fight the whole server in this round.
Yeah, if ever there was like a 1v9 meme, it felt like it would have been him in that round. With, as you say, every single position he seemed to find himself in, and almost delivered it all. Thankfully, Urbano's repositioning was just good enough to get it over the line, but if ever there was a game that felt like it was going to be overtime, it's this one. Once again, Bounty Hunters have everything they could possibly want. Kaiser will go back to the AWP. And 9Z, after winning that previous round in a 1v1, obviously, have 3 Galils.
Fast acquisition of hut here for Lucan, but all the smoke's outside. They're trying to fake some presence and draw players away from the defense here. So far, no one on the Bounty Hunter is making a move. Incendiary will keep T-side players at bay. HE will only slow progression further. But Kaiser has struck true on this AWP. That's confirmation of presence in at ramp. Max sneaking through that smoke, but he doesn't get the drop on Zoc. 2 kills seeded over. The Bounty Hunters in a winning position. 5-on-3 to fight for overtime.
They're going to try and phase the hell smoke. Might need to do something crazy to have any sort of progress back into this one. Any sort of recovery. But even then, Freak is in a good position. 50 seconds. Paso Peak will edge his way forward. He has got the bomb on his back, so if he takes first contact, Freak will know exactly what's going on. Needs to get this kill immediately to Paso Peak, and that's good information. Freak will not even die for the cause either. He can be mined out into the open and will go down, but that's just fair enough. He's done everything he could have done there, Freak, and he wouldn't have peaked if that Molotov wasn't there. But look at the setup toward A. Ninjas blocking in toward Mini. You've got a CT vent player in Zoc to hold that crossfire, but actually doesn't see it. That's really unfortunate. Now there's an opening, and Levy taps 2 down. I cannot believe that. The fact that the site player gets caught before the CT vent player sees heaven is unreal. And now Kaiser's got the AWP. He's 1v3. They now know where he's rotated into the site from. 9Z have dragged this game over the line, and I'm really not sure how.
A 5-on-3 there for the Bounty Hunters. Somehow, someway, 9Z craft a solution. From the molly down, they fall into an A-side trap, but they hit every shot they need to. They pick it apart. What was supposed to be crossfires ended up being a liability in the end. A fake false sense of security. 13-11, tightest scoreline that the Bounty Hunters have put up against 9Z. Talk about their previous run-ins being basically blowouts for 9Z each and every time. The Bounty Hunters certainly tested them. They had a chance to win this game. They had a chance for OT. But when push comes to shove, 9Z seem to dig deep and find a way out.
Oh man, I mean, Bounty Hunters will look back at that and be wondering how on earth that is not an overtime game. Firstly, as I was saying during that little moment, right, Freak did everything he could. As soon as he was mollied, he had to peek, had to go for a kill. Then Levy taps 2 down. I mean, like, the fact that the CT vent player doesn't see the heaven player is so unfortunate, but he does see him. He sees an arm, but still absolutely insane.
Yeah, definitely struggles for the Bounty Hunters, especially on their mental side of things. They picked into Nuke. They couldn't quite edge out the victory, and now they'll move into 9Z's train. Definitely a hallmark for this newer look 9Z, but we'll have to see whether or not they can put up as much of a fight or whether 9Z simply breeze their way into that grand finals. The conclusion of this series coming up after the break.
I'll keep going till my speakers come blown. I'll keep going till my speakers come blown. I'll keep going till my speakers come blown. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speakers come. I'll keep going till my speakers come blown. 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 Going till my speakers come blown. I'll keep going till my speakers come blown. I'll keep going till my speakers come blown. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speakers come. I'll keep going till my speakers come blown. 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 I'll keep going till my speakers come blown.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a Benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of A to Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and Rolex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on the better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When it down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino. Uh-huh.
Incredibly entertaining map 1 for good reasons and bad reasons. Unfortunately, it ends on the bad side of things for bounty hunters, and I'm not sure it's going to get much better as we head into 9Z's favoured map of Train.
Yeah, the disappointment I have for the bounty hunters is actually very high, because I was right there actually rooting for them towards the end, because they were doing a great job on that CT side until they get a 5v3 and then they fumble it clearly. So yeah, 9Z, I mean, clearly pressed far more than they would have expected coming into that nuke. They played with pace and they were getting shut down. They played slow. They were still losing rounds, and it only really was that breakthrough from Urbano in the 1v1 and then that 3v5 that they were able to bail themselves out on, that they finally bring it over the line. So it's not exactly the most confident finish for the 9Z side, but I do worry about whether the bounty hunters are going to be affected quite clearly, knowing that that game was in their hands.
Oh man, I just had so much of my brain focused on that final round of the game. I totally forgot that 1v1 / entire round, the round prior, could have also gone completely the opposite direction. Yeah. Oh my word. So painful for bounty hunters. And yeah, it's not a great map for them, Train. 9Z, it's one of the few maps they kind of have mainly in their wheelhouse. It's kind of Train and Inferno. With this current roster, they've had some good wins on it, have 9Z, and played it in EU, let alone in South America. So, yeah, I'm not too confident for a bounty hunter's recovery. It should be 9Z making this grand final in ECL Season 50, Cup number 4, to battle for that regional final. But we've got to play the map first. We never know. That's just paper. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, especially when you're adding the context of the bounty hunters trying to be prepared for this matchup, understanding what it could potentially lead to. Trying to qualify into Pro League, you know, we have very few systems, we have very few leagues and open qualifiers that will get you into LAN events. Especially if you're trying to break into Tier 1, the VRS that can slingshot you into relevancy if you get an upset win or just honestly simply impress. These are not to be understated in the modern day. Very slow pistol here from the 9Z squad. They were waiting for aggression, but the Bounty Hunters play a fairly static defense.
Yeah, very often with the way the modern day train is, you do get players pushed up pop to try and flank brown halls, maybe even going for something aggressive, but they straight up push up the ramp in toward the brown halls from the CT side, rather than the pop dog side. Kaiser goes searching, maybe feeling like he needs to do something after a very slow map 1 for himself, and gets immediately destroyed by Lucan. Now Piri is in a very tough position. Many players coming his way. There is plenty of rotations into position with 3 on the bomb train, but that smoke has isolated one of them. Zoc will hold on brilliantly though. 3 headshots. Okay, the recovery is so on. The rotation was great from Bounty Hunters and they're continuing to delay. 16 seconds for this bomb plant. Levy will finally find Zoc, but Ninjas is waiting in con. And Max, 7 HP, no way in with such little time on the clock. And he's at risk of dying after time here on the pistol round. He won't, but still, it's Bounty Hunters won't care about that. It's winning the round, which is the crazy recovery.
Yeah, 3 players on the bomb train. I've never seen it be as successful as that. Zoc 3 kills, but honestly, he might have done about like 420 damage in that pistol round. Hit the gush onto Max, did some damage as well on the player on the side itself. And after they lost Pirius so cleanly, I was expecting that round to just go completely the other way, but that's what they paid Zoc the big bucks for.
Yeah, no undressing this time. He undressed them.
Yeah.
UMP.
Permission.
with consent, indeed. Kaiser, oh my goodness, he's just not having a fun series for himself, is he? Glock team kill there, I believe. Awkward for Lucan and Levy, but in the end, it does work out in a 3 alive anti-eco win for Bounty Hunters with 3 kills for Freak. That UMP on Kaiser looking a bit messy. Still prefer the MP9. Even now, we thought the UMP would really come back into vogue a bit more when that MP9 got nerfed, but I think every single pro has learned the differences in that spray pattern now.
It's the fire rate as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the UMP just slow chugging. That MP9 puts out like 150 rounds per minute, and that's underselling it almost certainly.
Couple of bullets being put through those windows. Lovely swing from Max on toward Zoc. An immediate deletion leads to an early 5v4. He's looking to go back in for more, but Piri is pushing forward. So 100 HP, and Levy takes a lot of damage to get that trade. Hueso Peak took Ninjas in the meantime, though, so it's going to force Freak forward, and it's only 1. Meets 2 more players waiting to receive him, and Kaiser is none the wiser.
But maybe he only needs stay one-track minded. Call it a visor. Because if he stays on this A bomb site, right now 9Z are resetting for an A play. And as he sees that Pop Dog is all clear, he might have just simply made the wrong call, hoping to maybe backstab them on a crawl down to the lower ramp. Because they're going to full contact into this A bomb site. Yeah, they're really bleeding the clock, making Kaiser paranoid, but it's also maybe almost too quiet on this B site. So he starts to slink on back, hoping to plant con side, it looks like, and that will expose them. Hueso taking a lot of damage on the initial peak, and now they can plant for the backside of the site. Shouldn't be any real chance in. Kaiser does have a Molotov, but I've touched on it a couple of times this series already. Kaiser's game has not been great, and doesn't seem like he's fancying his chances for this clutch either, playing it far too slow. I mean, in a 1v3 when you know that bomb is getting planted, that surely would have been your time to spring in. So he will save this M4 instead.
Yeah, it was a painful one for Kaiser last map, only in 0.52, going 6 and 17. And we don't want to beat up on him too much, but the reality is he plays a very important role for Bounty Hunters. And he's I've seen a lot of Kaiser previously on with a 9Z Academy. Covered him multiple times on Bounty Hunters since he entered this squad in March 2024. And yeah, very hit and miss. And unfortunately, most of this game has been a miss for him. But doesn't mean he can't turn it around and have impact. If you have a bad game, you can make up for it. You can win a round single-handedly for your team and make up the difference. Let's see how he does on this gun round here for 9Z again, with that save coming through for Bounty Hunters. Huasso Peak already entering Zoc as he gets out toward Olaf. Piria having to trade him.
And it's just the Piria MO, isn't it? Player takes contact somewhere and, or rather a teammate of his takes contact and Piria goes searching not only for a trade, but even more kills after the fact. Piria is the guy. And so he has to remain proactive. But he's alone on this A play. There's 3 on B that are now just searching the upper holes. So they'll be a little late to the affair, but that extra information could have a rotate cheated over. Kaiser's joining them on this 3 towards Pop. Piria just has to keep himself alive and cause distraction as best he can.
Oh, good jiggle out from Urbano, but doesn't realise there's a second player there that's already wider. So Freak will get that trade with the 5-7. Lucan does hold on for Piria, but he did find one more toward Levy before that trade came through. The bomb is sneaking through Con in the meantime, though, in toward the B-bomb site, and I think that could be the play that just about recovers this one for 9Z. Lucan is sticking around, trying to catch a player on that rotation round, but now he's just going to be able to slip away as well, so he and Max will both have a pretty decent afterplant. Bomb is planted very open for pretty much everywhere towards CT, and Kaiser has a defuse kit. They're going to choose to go back around the Brown Hall's way, and that smoke is pretty handy for Freak, knowing they could be around Connector. He 6-1 in this game, and almost finds the opening kill on toward Lucan. With the position of that bomb plant, it's still so damn difficult. Kaiser going to have to be the one to stick it while Freak goes searching. He's going to try and do that, but the combination of Lucan and Max comfortably takes both of them, and they'll be back even again.
Yeah, I mean, the smoke does allow them out lower a little safer, but given that it was a backside plant for CT spawn, actually served to benefit maybe holding onto that for the defuse if that was going to be the play. I understand why Piria has to feels compelled to try and get something going on that A bomb site, but Kaiser was also setting up for a flank, and without any actual presence on the site itself, that possibility to slink through Connector was just too strong there for 9Z. Good recognition in that mid-round that that was a potential gap.
Lucan.
The only thing I might be critical of with Piria is that he might feel like he has to do too much.
Yeah.
It's not even necessarily a critique of himself, but just the situation he finds himself in.
Yeah, it's just valid, right? Does manage to get one in this round with the scout, but they've got full control of the A-bomb train. Zoc might be somewhat nearby, and Kaiser's on a good flank, but Huasso Peak is keeping an eye on it. Zoc will now be cleared. This UMP is actually put himself in a smart position here, Kaiser. They know there's no chance of winning the round anymore, so you may as well try and play for an exit. Huasso Peak, is he going to go deep enough at all? He might have to swing Kaiser to actually get this frag. Finally, he's going to get an opportunity. He'll let one go. Fair enough, that's good money for Kaiser. He's managed to hop away as well, looking for more. There we go. This is impact from him. It's not going to win his team a round, but firstly, it's great money. Secondly, only Urbano survives.
And that will hopefully give him a bit of confidence. Good trigger discipline. Overpowered in 2 other fights as well. I want to get his hands on an... actually, he should have an ult for the following buy. Shouldn't be an investment in from the bounty hunters. Listen, if this guy is hit or miss... I know I've covered Kaiser before, but I've definitely seen him hit more than miss, but this was quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure about his state of affairs right now, but if he can build some confidence, I'm with it. I want the Bounty Hunters to put up a show at the very least, because they really almost deserve to win that nuke.
Just a crazy set of circumstances in the end in those final 2 rounds that saw them not take it. And it's actually, funnily enough, kind of the PTSD that I was mentioning that 9Z have kind of had from the game against Sharks only yesterday. Pyria will go down to the Lucan nade. There's at least 1 kill for Zoc as they try and force the issue, but Max holds on against this eco. And there is no risk here whatsoever. Russo Peak is already behind Zoc. And he's gone. 4-2 is the lead for 9Z. And already 4 on T side so early on is a worry.
Yeah, actually like what 9Z did there as well. They broke the bomb site. They saw that the smokes were weird, that players could get out from connector towards the back red train. And so everyone just kept their guns raised. No one tried to plant the bomb. They wanted to fight, knowing that they had the weapons advantage. So they don't give Bounty Hunters much of a gap to get in. I'm out now here for the Bounty Hunters. Hoping to manifest kills on this Kaiser AWP. Pyria has been fairly lonely in some of these A plays. And while he might be good, he's not going to beat all 5 of 9Z. He will need help.
I know. It's like he kind of tried to 1v9 in the in the end of that nuke game, right? With how he was, that round where he floated around the map and almost won the 1v1 against Urbano. Just basically looking to be the anchor in every single position.
Yeah, he can't be everywhere at once, but he can damn well try.
All right. The timer for Bounty Hunters here. Let's see if it's worked out for them in any way, shape or form. Not if Lucan forces the issue like that. Once again, Pyria is the second man in. And my word, 1 minute 30 on the clock. Already 1 player left for 9Z. A collapse on top of them from Ninjas, Kaiser and Pyria. And Levy. Oh, we see him. Okay, fair enough.
I'm not sure that Ninjas saw him. I feel like someone that's playing 16x9 might have called it for him, because very, very late to react to that.
On your right, bro, on your right. Up, up.
Yeah, someone's screaming down the microphone. But a great stop. Fast play out from Lucan. The incendiary down towards Pop Dog as they decided to swing out, and then they just got funneled into this spray that Ninjas was putting down range. So, and 9Z tried to go for a very up-tempo play, but they get stuffed. Another timeout from the Bounty Hunters, though. Maybe not content with how quickly things went from 0 to 100.
We've seen a couple of double timeouts now in this game. I think we had 2 in a row from 9Z on T side of Nuke. We've had 2 in a row on CT now for Bounty Hunters. Bit unusual to use them in quick succession like that, but feeling like it's necessary, even after winning that previous round. Wanted to continue to stall the 9Z momentum, but it's always a conversation, isn't it? When you call a timeout, it gives your opponents one too. That's the way it works.
Lefty went for a pick towards Ivy, but it is a swing and a miss, so they know that that AWP is present. Deep control, though, for Pyria, who clears main by his lonesome. God, they've flashed. Second one will make it, and Huaso goes from one smoke right into the other, so who's the ninja now?
Oh, goodness.
But sandwiched between these two players, but Huaso does get caught on bad timing, switched back to spawn, only for Ninjas to get the drop, but there's Levy with the trade. 4-on-4, but this AWP is alone in Ivy and may just slink back, but Pyria's hoping to cut him off.
Yeah, funny how Ninjas played that.
Oh, wait.
Oh, we saw him. Okay, now Levy's very stuck. This is not an angle you really want to play behind, whichever weapon you've got. And Pyria is actually choosing to keep him locked in. He's like, okay, bro, go Ivy or die. Levy's going to try and walk it now, and I'm afraid that's not going to work out for you, my friend. Pyria is too smart for you. 35 seconds on the clock for 9Z to find an opening somewhere, and it might have to be in through Pop. Zoc is close, and Pyria is going to be helping out toward main, so actually, probably one of the worst decisions they could be making here to go into this crossfire, and it's not even a crossfire, it's just Pyria. 3 kills on the round. And Kaiser will get a freebie as Lucan walks in toward Heaven. So, good little recovery here from Bounty Hunters.
A bit of a curious choice, though, from 9Z. They spot Pyria about to flank into the B holes. And I think that's why they pull the pin away from B. They're expecting Pyria, clearing all of main, getting deep to spawn and seeing no one but that solitary AWPer on retreat. That they could have stacked extra reinforcements on B. That must have been the justification, but yeah, they funnel back into Pyria, and that's the one player you probably want to avoid.
And this is going to be... Oh my goodness, I was about to say this is going to be yummy. Okay, Pyria, it's your turn to farm. Only 2. Now, Zoc is going to try and push forward to try and help out. The thing is, there's an M4 now recovered, and there's Lucan grabbing the AK. I'm worried. This was all Glocks. 5 Glocks in the round. Zoc goes looking and gets punished. All of a sudden, it's Ninjas and Kaiser both needing to get off that 5 kill mark. Lucan has crept in toward Heaven. 32 HP on him. They found that other AK on Levy too. All of a sudden, this one's going a bit crazy. Ninjas could get traded, will get traded. Oh, my word. 5 Glocks. Dazed, I hope you're well, my friend. Get better soon. Kaiser needs a 1v2. This is wild. How have they brought this one back?
No Russians or Latinas to dance with this time. There's simply nothing that Kaiser can do. No smoke for this bomb. He doesn't even have a kit. Maybe one that he can recover over towards that oil train, but these 2 riflers splitting up, dividing and conquering a full Glock round won by 9Z. They devastate this B hold or B attempt out from the Bounty Hunters. That is devastating.
Dearie me. I mean, unfortunately, the reason that round gets out of hand whatsoever is that Freak doesn't get 1, right? Like,
Yeah,
he's in...
dies instantly.
He dies instantly to what is, I think, a headshot from 1 and the second immediately from a second player. I mean, he's not even in a bad position. It's just a case of dying so quickly that not being able to react, and then it all falling apart, because the setup was meant to be in play so that Pyria could play off of him really well. And Pyria got 2. He kind of held up his end of the bargain fine, but it does rely on Freak being there, and going down with nothing just completely... That was the first domino that fell, and they all followed.
Yeah, I think the only real criticism, aside from getting just destroyed by that Glock, I'm actually not even sure if it was 2 different players hitting the headshot.
Maybe it wasn't.
He got a full kill.
Maybe it wasn't, yeah.
Yeah, but he was wide on the angle. He wasn't jiggling it, spotting it. He took a wide angle to try and just destroy them, knowing that they had worse weapons. Oh, hell of a shot there from Levy. And Lucan's combined for another. Pyria does trade at least Lucan's main pressure. Freak needs this.
Oh, no chance against Levy. He goes in for more and finally caught by Pyria. Now they know where Pyria's playing, and they're going to try and avoid him in some way. They have let him escape.
Beat the rotate.
Yeah, it's he is the floater, isn't he, Pyria? And on every map, seemingly, for Bounty Hunters.
He's getting so much information. As he clears, as 9Z hesitate, the Phantom of the Bounty Hunters is looking to strike from behind, but Max will just get control of his spray for the headshot. That was the way back in for the Bounty Hunters, but now this turns into a Kaiser save.
Question, do you think Ninja's jiggling left side Ivy, as we saw it from Levy, do you think he knew that Levy was run boosted over?
No, he didn't.
Yes, that's what I thought. Okay. So that's why he exposed too much of himself on the jiggle.
I mean, even then, we watched it from Levy's point of view.
It was a good shot.
He did not see much.
Yeah, it was a good shot from Levy. I will give him that one. Give him the benefit of the doubt there.
I'd say 50, maybe even, maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe even 70% of the time that shot's not hit. Even against the super elite AWPers, that's a tough one, but Levy hit it.
I just watched it back, by the way, and you were right. It was a Hwaso peak double headshot from close range. Pretty crazy. Not like Freak didn't have a helmet either. Otherwise, that would have been an instant headshot. Crazy.
Got bink bonked.
Indeed, and maybe I thought it was two names because Hwaso and peak is two words.
This guy's just got a long ass.
All right. Bounty Hunters, you've got an M4 and an AWP. The M4 is on the right guy, but Kaiser needs to do something crazy, and Levy's already posted on the angle. Back in the older days of this train version, you'd be able to get in that position a lot quicker, and you'd make it look like that way more often. But Levy, he wants them all here. Goodness gracious. Yeah.
Willing to get frisky with it. But here he is. The Phantom. Back of the bomb site. Bomb out in the open. Almost caught a timing, but reinforcements is now coming. And on this 9 HP, ain't much of a chance in hell. Also with a double. And Levy with a triple. Very aggressive on his AWPing lines, but hitting most of those shots. There's more than just one tool that 9Z can use to crack sites.
Yeah, I can forgive Kaiser for going for that because he feels like he needs to make a play. You can buy the AWP, as you can see here in the final round of the half anyway. And yeah, it's actually quite rare, as I was describing, that you get a T holding main on that angle, holding toward E-box that quickly anymore.
Make this make sense. Pyria, 14 kills, but on an MP9, he's going head first. It's actually Zoc right behind him that gets the 2 kills. And Pyria still alive, tucked in the corner. They've asserted themselves on this round.
I like it.
9Z are going to react, though. They've taken space on B, but that bomb needs to make its way over, too.
Yeah, it's a long, long way away. They're relying on the utility to keep them at bay. Freak will take a bit too much damage to that Molotov than he would have liked. And Kaiser is in CT now. Worried about the push in there.
It's not moving.
And yeah, I mean, they have a whole minute, so I guess they can figure it out. Maybe waiting on B with Max and Urbano here to see if Bounty Hunters make a mistake and overpeak and give them an opening somewhere else. Because at some point, I think Bounty Hunters will be confused. They've seen nothing. And we wondered, okay, are they just sitting still? Are they not doing anything? They're not being active at all? Now it's happening, and Freak, he could get timinged here. Double walk through Con. Thankfully, the other 2 CTs have also walked back into Pop, so actually, the setup couldn't be better. And there's the trade. So all down to Lucan, creeping in through Ivy with that bomb, making a lot of noise. Kaiser hits the easy shot. And okay, Bounty Hunters get 5, but I'm afraid that's CT side. 9Z are in full control with a chance to win this game 2-0. Here we go, second half, and maybe the end of the Bounty Hunters run in ESL Challenger League. Their low bracket run has been incredible, but 9Z could be about to put an end to all that. Max with an early kill, 1 for 1, as Ninjas gets that trade. And look at this, they're all over Ivy here, Bounty Hunters. But the setup for 9Z is really strange in a way.
Odd.
We've got 2 players in the smoke dancing around these angles, but Kaiser and Freak are able to find a couple. Wasapik is now trying to deliver. The bomb's not even going down yet, and that gives him an opportunity to recover. Levy's found 2. Wasapik finds another, and that bomb is in no man's land, and suddenly Levy with a triple kill. Explain, Michael.
Yeah, I thought they had actually messed this up. They see these 2 smokes that are actually designed so that the Bounty Hunters could get out, fight towards back bomb, and split them. And 9Z try to out-trick them using those smokes. They get inside of them, and it's just total... It's a complete collapse. Total chaos behind those smokes. But as they fade, suddenly Levy just starts hitting shots, and Hwaso won his duel to deep main, so... That was full chaos on that site. It was already a very brawly start to that pistol, only made weirder by the smokes. Okay, Max is just bursting them away versus these Glocks. No full Glock win for the Bounty Hunters. They will not be given the same grace.
No shenanigans, I'm afraid. And of course, with Levy getting a triple kill in that pistol and just feeling a lot more, obviously getting a lot of money in the bank from all that, he can already get the AWP out in the 3rd round.
Oh, I'm worried. Levy was really heating up towards the end of that T side. He was going for so many fast shots and aggressive peaks. To get it out so early on CT now too, Bounty Hunters better hit these flashes on him.
Well, they're going out A fast. Oh, they're going at A fast. They've already got 1 player out. Zoc is ready. Leg shot hit, though, and Levy's not missing, whether he gets the kill or not. Another kill toward Ninjas. Oh, my goodness, he's done so much damage this round. Jesus. Kaiser Imperia walking wounded, dragging himself across the ground to pick up that AWP and get out. But when I say get out, I'm not sure there will be a way out.
Yeah, this, honestly, they could justify this as a save in a weird way. I mean, the round is... done. Just look at what Levy's up to. I mean, takes his spawn, jumps straight into pop, and has the wherewithal, sees that a player had made it out from main, and once he spotted that leg, just helping his teammate out.
I know Bounty Hunters are on a great run through the lower bracket, and especially in other tournaments too. They've actually had a really impressive win streak of late. I will have to still say this, though. For Levy, he needs to perform like this in games against also the tier 1.5, tier 2 South America, because
sure.
This is exactly what I wanted to see from him, exactly the moves I want to see him make to really assert his name as an AWPer in South America. We're really short on Brazilian AWPers. I mean, where's Henny? Like, he's been benched for ages, getting on a bit now in years, of course, but still quality. So there's an example of a player that's maybe gone a bit missing. We're losing out on numbers in that role as a Brazilian. We've got, an Argentinian on Imperial, for example, in Try, and MIBR going to a Russian academy AWPer, for goodness sake. Like,
yep.
No other options, and that's excluding what Fury did with Molodoi. But we all know how good that's going. So for Levy, those moves were great. And how much damage did he do in that round? 2 leg shots and a kill? Probably like 290 damage, maybe-ish?
Yeah. I'd say like
270?
260, 260, 270.
Yeah.
It's like 82 a hit usually.
Yeah, my maths is off. Getting excited.
But that's a lot of damage.
It is.
Well, okay. Freaks dealt with inside of Ivy. Lucan went for an aggro play, and there were actually 2 that were designated to that spot for the Bounty Hunters. They don't go hunting for that trade, and Levy's picking them off, even just trying to escape from A main. And Levy's just got this killer instinct about him. He's just wrapping the red train as they sit tucked away, quivering in fear out at Olaf.
Oh, they're feeling it.
This series is done. There's simply too much star power. 9Z hitting too hard. Bounty Hunters have barely had a look in on this T side already.
Yeah, it's just too good. And the reality is that we kind of felt it, and now it's being proved that Bounty Hunters, they had to win map 1. They're in a position where it was a necessity for them in the series. If you look at the numbers on map 2 of Train, it's 9Z's, one of 2 maps really they still feel really comfortable on, even with a roster that is supposedly maybe moving on to a new player. Urbano is rumored to be dropped for Luchov. The announcement of Bestia moving on to Buda has already been announced. So, yeah, for 9Z, they want to do a job here, do a job tomorrow, get revenge on Sharks, get through to that regional final, finish off ECL, maybe make Pro League, and then make their decision.
I mean, Buddha, of course, also getting his start with 9Z once upon a time, so
Yeah.
in that roster shuffle.
What goes around comes around in a way.
Yeah, feels like they're hitting real hard. Bounty Hunters don't really have a response period. Tried his damnedest on that CT side, but here on T, they've got way more problems to deal with. Pyria is out, but he will be soul searching. Timing's not great, and it's double swung. Teammates swinging out from Pop Dog. Max just has them dead to rights. They're swinging with util out.
They're cooked, I'm afraid. And 9Z, knowing they're super comfortable, even what is around against mostly pistols, they have the money to pull out the Lucan secondary AWP, right? Which is something you mentioned earlier, that he primaried for a little bit. It's definitely an extra factor of this 9Z team once they get a bank built up to on maps like Train and D2.
It is an unfortunate situation to be in, because whether or not they were ever really going to stack up against 9Z, the stats lean heavily against them in the head-to-head. The fact they got so close to winning that nuke, I don't know how much it weighed on their minds here, but seeing how fast this game has gone away from them after 5 rounds on that CT side, you'd hope that they could get something done here on T, but every round has been a complete shutdown.
Yeah, there are some teams that seem to have an opponent as their bogey team. In the EU, for example, watching a lot of Tier 3, it's kind of been 500 against Nuclear Tigers, funnily enough. They just can't find a way to beat them at all. I'm not going to pretend that Bounty Hunters really have a bogey team here with 9Z, because plainly 9Z should always just be better than them. But they have a bogey team in terms of not being able to figure out what gets them a single map against them.
I'd like to hopefully close that distance over time, but time has not healed this wound. They have found the opener onto Levy. Started aggro on B ramp. Flash in for Urbano over at Heaven, and while it's not the cleanest fight, he does overpower Pyria, who is the biggest head to find.
Yeah, and that could be the beginning of the end. Freak walking forward. Does he check Max's position? Oh, well, he doesn't. And then Max peeks him while he pulls his molly out. Oh, dear. Walking toward upper now for Zoc and Kaiser might be the only thing going for them. And Urbano will drop. And Ninjas actually does find the trade on Max and toward A. So it's going to have to be Lucan over toward the rotation in connector. Lovely flick up on Kaiser, but gets a little bit too eager. And Zoc will trade him and find Hwasso Peak 2. 6 HP, 2 spare. Hwasso Peak trades that. That clutch is very much on. But Bounty Hunters stay up.
Yeah, I'm liking what I've been seeing out of Zoc, even if it is in, these small flashes, these sort of minor moments. Both him and Ninjas have, I think provided some capacity to play up against this 9Z roster. They've caught them out. They've hit some great shots. Hasn't proven to be enough on the whole, but maybe there are things still to be hopeful for. This lower bracket run was certainly a task. quite a few heads, but this is a contract that may be too big to redeem. Levy just keeps on having his way with that AWP, starting in a different position, catches Ivy, and Kaiser's AWP cannot track him down. Ninjas is now gone. It's a 3-on-5 that Bounty Hunters will have to bail themselves out of.
Aye. Yeah, I think this is... I said it was the beginning of the end in the previous round. Well, now it's even more bleak. Bounty Hunters have got to give them all the credit in the world with how they've managed to recover this lower bracket. Lucan looks at his dead teammate. Gumball can stick out here, and he's not moving forward. Finally, Max will trade it. Pyria had an easy kill there. That does retain the 3v2 at least. Kaiser and Zoc walking through Ivy, who has a peek, will get caught. And again, there is a conversation. This was a 3v5. Kaiser and Zoc will make the move all the way through back lane into CT. And now we'll start shifting. And unfortunately for 9Z, they are both committed to A.
Yeah, Urbano came away from that B-bomb site just to provide some extra support, but they're flying blind. It's total guesswork. And Urbano now is starting to consider the fact that they could have slinked into spawn. They have to cover the connector. No, Zoc turned away. Urbano catches him at the right time.
Wow.
And now it has to be a Kaiser clutch.
And it doesn't feel reality after the game that Kaiser has had, but it would be a crazy time to step up. Not going to happen. Urbano swings him out of the round, and 9Z will recover. After losing to Sharks and dropping into the consolidation final, they get the win against Bounty Hunters, and Bounty Hunters' incredible lower bracket streak comes to an end. There'll be no ESL Pro League for them, but still a chance for 9Z as they will reface Sharks tomorrow evening.
Yeah, definitely some commiserations to the Bounty Hunters who could have won that first map, but yeah, this, unfortunately, train was just too much to handle. Nuke was close, this was not. And 9Z, this will be a nice little confidence booster, I'm sure. Even if they had their struggles in that first game, it didn't seem to affect them at all in the second map. And yeah, that collision course, they find themselves in that rematch to the Sharks. I'm sure they're itching for some revenge.
Yeah, that should be really entertaining. That game, when I got a chance to cover it, with Hayes yesterday, I'll tell you right, well, I think it was every map was relatively comfortable, apart from Overpass, but it had a lot of entertainment value to it, and actually generally good CS. So yeah, that is exactly where we find ourselves now. There is the upper bracket. Young Sharks versus 9Z Globant. That is the final. And if whoever wins that goes through to the regional final, where we will have a proper 4-team bracket ready to play out for that spot at Pro League. MIBR, 1 Cup 2. Bestia, 1 Cup 1. And Gaming Gladiators, 1 Cup 3. So, the winner of Cup 4 is between those two.
Yeah, well, pretty stacked looking regional finals. So South America will have quite a lot to play for. There'll be many teams that you can root for as well, and it may not even stop there. Tune in as well to watch that final, because if it's anywhere as good as you describe in their last encounter, I may have to stay up a little late just to see how 9Z do.
Yeah, it should be an entertaining one, that's for sure. I will be back tomorrow. Thanks so much for filling in today, Yumi. It was a pleasure as always. I'll be back with Matt for that grand final in Cup number 4, then back for more in that regional final. So make sure to stick around. But of course, North America still to come this evening. So make sure to keep your ESL CS stream on for more action in the ESL Challenger League. For now, for us two, good night.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Qiddiya.
I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. 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 Going till my speaker calm low. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. I'll keep going till my speaker calm.